Obscure Characters Month continues this week with a look at the strange story of the nasty little Decepticon who's a friend to no one, the bot who calls himself Enemy. The toy that would become the Decepticon known as Enemy was first released in 1983 by Japanese toy company Takara as part of their Microchange line. Sold under the name Micros, the figure transformed into a micro cassette tape and was available in 3 color schemes: red and blue, black and red, and 2 shades of blue. The figure was licensed by Hasbro and imported to become part of the first year of the Transformers toy line in 1984. They didn't use the red and blue version, but the black and red figure became the Decepticon Rumble, while the blue one became his brother, Frenzy. The Transformers cartoon would famously switch the 2 characters' color schemes, but that's a story for another video. This is the story of Enemy, and it's a story that at this point takes an unusual turn. From 1984 to 1986, toy company Nasta licensed the Transformers brand from Hasbro and produced an assortment of tie-in merchandise, including electronic toys like radios and microphones. Several of Nasta's products were based on recognizable characters like Optimus Prime and Megatron, but others were just generic Autobot and Decepticon items that didn't represent specific characters. 2 such Decepticon toys were produced, both based on the Micros figure, a voice changer that electronically modulated a user's voice to sound like a robot, designed to look like the Micros robot's head, and a portable radio attached to the front of which was a simplified version of the Micros figure, which couldn't be removed but could transform. It's impossible to say if it was a deliberate reference or not, but both these toys shared the same basic color scheme as the red version of the Microchange figure that Hasbro hadn't imported. Nasta labeled these toys with the generic descriptor Decepticon Enemy, similar to the name they used on some of their generic Autobot products, Autobot Freedom Fighter. In 2007, TF Wiki, the unofficial online Transformers encyclopedia, created an article for these 2 Nasta toys, noting their resemblance to the Microchange figure. Now, TF Wiki is a site well known for its sense of humor, and the article jokingly pretended as if the toys represented a real character actually named Enemy. TF Wiki admin David Willis took the gag further in 2011 when he made Enemy an official part of Transformers lore by including the character in Recordicons, the gag strip he created for the Transformers Collectors Club, though the version of Enemy who appeared in the strip was from the mirror universe of Shattered Glass. He sported inverted colours and was comedically depicted as a severed head, like the voice changer, having had his body eaten by the Autobot lion, Steeljaw. Now, around the same time, Takara was searching the Transformers universe to find obscure cassette characters they could release toys of in their Transformers Encore toy line, and TF Wiki's article wound up inspiring them to officially re-release the red and blue Micros figure as a Decepticon named Enemy. Sold in a set with fellow cassette Wing Thing and their master Sound Blaster, in whose chest he could fit in cassette mode, Enemy's name was his entire personality. He was hostility incarnate, and went out of his way to make sure nobody liked him. He refused to cooperate with other Decepticons, and in battle he would always go after only the most valuable, irreplaceable targets, goading the Autobots into focusing all their anger on him. The way he saw it, you could tell a bot's importance by how many enemies they had, so he prided himself on being an enemy to absolutely everyone. A second Enemy toy followed in the high-end collector-targeted Masterpiece toy line in 2017. This one a recolor of the Masterpiece Rumble figure, complete with the earthquake-generating pile drivers used by Rumble in the original cartoon. Sold in a set with Wing Thing and Autobot cassettes Night Stalker and Stripes. The release of this toy inspired Enemy's first appearance in Japanese media in the Transformers Legends manga in 2018, going up against Night Stalker during an attack on Autobot headquarters. In 2020, Enemy got his biggest role yet when he made a surprise appearance in IDW Publishing's Transformers comic book. In this series, set before the outbreak of the war, Enemy was a member of the Rise, the terrorist organization that would eventually evolve into the Decepticons. He snuck into the Energon harvesting facility on Cybertron's moon and installed a siphon that surreptitiously leached off a portion of the moon's Energon and transmitted it to the Rise to fuel their schemes. Those schemes resulted in the activation of the giant transformer Vigilam, who they used to knock the moon out of orbit, inadvertently leaving Enemy stranded on it as it hurtled towards the sun. A small crew of Autobot engineers who had remained on the moon to try and alter its flight path found Enemy and locked him up. But he was then rescued by a Rise strike team who arrived to steal the rogue moon and all the Energon remaining on it. The Autobots fought them off, but in the chaos, Enemy disappeared, indicating that this is one obscure Transformer whose unusual story, from microchange to Transformers thanks to an internet joke about old tie-in merchandise, may not yet have reached its end. And those are the basics on Enemy. Like and subscribe for more dives into the barely known corners of Transformers history as Obscure Characters Month continues all through January. Ring the bell to be notified about new episodes, or if you can't wait, you can get early access to new videos if you support the series on Patreon.